All right, let's dive right in. We're about to unpack a revolution that's not just coming, it's already here. We're talking about how AI is set to completely redesign medicine. Now, we're going to use radiation oncology as our case study, but trust me, these changes are coming for everyone. So, let's get into it. And I want to be crystal clear about something right from the start. This is not science fiction. We're not talking about some far-off future 20 or 30 years from now. No. We are talking about profound, fundamental changes happening in the next 5 years. The window to prepare for this is closing, and it's closing fast. So where does a revolution like this even begin? Well, it doesn't start with a big bang. It starts with a beachhead. And that first wave of AI, it isn't on the horizon. It's already landed. It's working inside major hospitals right now. Yeah, so in some of the biggest and best medical centers, AI is already in clinical pilots. It's handling the boring stuff, the grind of documentation and triage. But it's also doing incredibly complex things like auto-contouring, which is that super precise, super time-consuming process of outlining tumors for radiation therapy. This isn't a lab experiment. This is happening with real patients. And folks, this is just the beginning. Okay, so that beachhead is secure. The first troops are on the ground. And right behind them, the next wave is coming. And this isn't some wild guess. There's a pretty clear timeline for how this is all going to play out. And believe me, it is shockingly fast. Which brings us to the big question, right? How quickly are we talking about? Is this a decade away? A generation? Let's actually look at the projected timeline. I think the answer is going to surprise you. Just look at how quickly these dominoes are set to fall. By 2026, so just a couple of years from now, AI-generated treatment plans become routine, with doctors basically supervising. Right on its heels, the money follows. Payers, insurance companies, start to reclassify all that planning and documentation work as a cheaper, technical service. And the final domino, by 2028, the entire staffing model starts to shift. The system moves to a model with fewer doctors managing way more patients, all because AI is doing the heavy lifting. So what does this actually mean for a doctor's day-to-day job? Well, right now, it's a mix of hands-on work, direct execution, and high-level strategy. By 2030, a huge chunk of that hands-on work is just gone. The job shifts to become primarily about oversight and, this is key, handling the exceptions. Managing those rare, complex cases where you absolutely need a human expert in the loop. But here's the thing. This isn't just a story about cool new technology. To really understand why this change is pretty much inevitable, we have to look under the hood. We've got to look at the powerful engines, the economic and regulatory forces that are pushing this whole thing forward. It's like a flywheel, this perfect self-reinforcing loop. Step 1, the tech push. AI just gets cheaper, faster, and more reliable than a person could ever be. That creates step 2, the economic pull. Hospitals and health systems are basically forced to adopt it to cut costs and see more patients. And finally, step 3 locks it all in, the reimbursement shift. The insurance payers change the rules of the game to favor the machine. It's a perfect storm. And this kind of pattern isn't totally new. If you're in healthcare, you've seen these trends for years. Things like hospital consolidation and the big push for value-based care. The difference now, AI is about to pour gasoline on that fire. It's going to accelerate everything on a scale that we have just never seen before. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, this all sounds a little like hyperbole, a little alarmist, well, just listen to what the experts are saying. And these aren't fringe voices. These are the people who are literally building and regulating this new world. Let's start with the godfather of AI himself, Geoffrey Hinton. His prediction is chilling, and it is direct. He says AI could replace everybody who does intellectual work. And just in case there was any doubt, yes, he specifically called out doctors. Bill Gates agrees with him, but he puts a timeline on it that is frankly terrifying. He thinks AI could replace professionals like physicians and teachers within a single decade. Now for this number, 70%. Just take a second and really think about what that could mean. That 70% number comes from Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the company that built ChatGPT. He testified before the U.S. Congress that AI could potentially eliminate up to 70% of all knowledge-based jobs. And let's be honest, what is medicine if not the ultimate knowledge-based profession? And to bring it all back to policy and money, key advisors are already pointing out that AI may already be outperforming human doctors in certain frontline tasks. But here's the real kicker. It does it at a fraction of the cost. And when the people who control the purse strings start talking about better performance and lower cost in the same sentence, you know that massive change isn't just possible, it's being planned. So here we are. We've arrived at a crossroads. The change is coming, the technology is here. The only question left, and it's the most important one, is this: what is the human's role in this new world of medicine? And this question gets incredibly urgent when we start talking about equity. On one hand, you have this incredible promise. AI could help fill critical gaps and bring expert-level care to underserved and rural areas that desperately need it. But here's the peril. Without strong guardrails put in place by clinicians, that exact same technology could be used as an excuse to cut physician roles entirely just to save a buck. It's a real double-edged sword. Because as the AI gains our trust, and as it continues to drive down costs, health systems will redesign the doctor's job. It's not really a choice they'll make. The math will demand it. The economic pressure will simply be too great to resist. And so this is the final question, the one we all have to grapple with. It's the question the entire medical community has to answer, and they have to answer it now. In the world that we are rapidly entering, where exactly is human judgment non-negotiable? Where is empathy non-negotiable? Because defining that line, that is the most important work we have left to do.